If one morning you stand in front of the mirror and suddenly notice that your face looks softer than before, your jawline is no longer as defined, your cheeks seem to droop slightly while you're still taking good care of your skin, still applying cream every night, still trying to get enough sleep, please pause for a moment. The first thing I want to tell you is this: you didn't do anything wrong. So many women over 60 have shared this exact same feeling with me. It's not that wrinkles suddenly increased. It's a feeling that's hard to name, as if the face has lost its natural lifting support, even though your care routine hasn't changed. And this is the key point that most women are never clearly told. Facial sagging after 60 is not just a skin issue. It often begins with deeper changes inside the body, changes that happen quietly and naturally, but directly affect how the face holds its shape. In this video, I'm not here to blame you, and I'm not here to sell you another product. I simply want to help you understand correctly why the face changes after 60, even when you've been taking very good care of it. Before we continue, please help me with one small thing. If you feel your jawline is no longer as defined as before, leave a comment saying jawline. If what you notice most is that your cheeks seem to be sagging, leave a comment saying cheeks. I read every comment, and it helps me create videos that are more relevant to you. And if gentle, honest content like this feels meaningful to you, please subscribe to the channel to help us move closer together to our goal of 100,000 subscribers. Each subscription doesn't just support the channel, it also helps other women over 60 realize that they are not alone in the changes happening in their bodies. After noticing changes in their face, the natural reaction for many women is to try harder, switching to more expensive creams, adding anti-aging serums, taking collagen more consistently, being extra careful with every step of their nightly skincare routine. And the sad part is, many women do all of this correctly. Yet after some time, when they look in the mirror, something still feels off. The skin may feel smoother, the surface may look brighter, but the face still appears soft, droopy, and lacking the support it once had. This leads many women to start asking themselves, am I using the wrong products? Am I not caring for my skin well enough? Or is it simply too late? But the truth is, you have not failed at skincare. The issue is that many anti-aging recommendations you've heard were designed for younger bodies, not for a body after 60. When we're younger, the skin has a strong ability to repair itself. With enough sleep, reasonably balanced nutrition, and suitable products, the body naturally prioritizes collagen, elasticity, and facial support structures. But after 60, the body no longer operates by that logic. It shifts into a different mode, one that prioritizes safety, stability, and energy conservation. The skin is no longer a top priority, not because you don't deserve it, but because the body's biology is changing. And this is the critical point that very few women are clearly told. Skincare only affects the surface, while facial sagging after 60 often begins in deeper structures. The structures that hold the face up, not just make it look nice. It's like repainting a wall beautifully, but if the foundation underneath has weakened, the wall will still slowly tilt and deteriorate over time. What matters here is not doing more, but understanding what you are actually caring for and what you may be missing. And to do that, we need to look at the face in a completely different way, not just as skin, but as an entire support system that changes with age. In the next part, I'll help you understand clearly what truly supports the face and why after 60, skincare alone is not enough to maintain natural balance and harmony in the face. Before talking about any mistakes or solutions, there is one very important thing you need to clearly understand. Our face is not held in place by the skin alone. The skin is only the outermost layer we see in the mirror. What truly determines whether the face looks lifted, defined, and harmonious is a complex support system beneath the surface. You can imagine the face like a house. The paint on the outside is the skin, but for the house not to tilt or sink, it needs a foundation, pillars, framing, and internal load-bearing structures. The facial support system consists of 4 main layers. The first layer is the skin. This is where collagen and elastin create surface tension. When we're younger, this layer is elastic, recovers quickly, and has a strong ability to repair itself. The second layer is facial fat. Many people hear the word fat and immediately think of something that needs to be removed. But facial fat is actually a very important cushioning layer. It helps the face look full, soft, and maintains natural contours. Without it, the skin appears flat, droopy, and lacking vitality. The third layer is the facial muscles and supporting ligaments. They function like cords that hold soft tissue in the correct position. When healthy, they prevent the cheeks from sliding downward, keep the jawline defined, and support the corners of the mouth. And the fourth layer, the least talked about yet extremely important, is the underlying facial bone structure, the cheekbones, jawbone, and eye sockets. This is the framework that all the soft tissue above attaches to. When we're younger, all four layers work together in harmony. Even if you miss a few nights of sleep or go through a stressful period, the body still has the ability to pull everything back into place. But after 60, the change doesn't happen in just one layer. The skin becomes thinner, facial fat begins to redistribute, muscles and ligaments lose firmness, and the bone structure also gradually changes over time. When all of these changes happen together, the face doesn't just look older, it looks like it's losing its support. That's why so many women say, "I don't feel like I'm aging fast. I just feel like my face is sinking." And this is what you need to remember. When sagging originates from the support system, focusing only on the outer skin, cannot fully address the problem. Before we go deeper into the root causes, I'd really like to know more about you, the woman watching this video. Please leave a comment with your age and where you're watching from. For example, 68, California, or 72, Texas. I read every single comment, and it helps me better understand the women who are walking alongside this channel, so I can share content that truly fits you. By this point, you may have started to realize something very important. Facial sagging after 60 is not a sudden event, but the result of quiet changes that have been taking place inside the body for many years. And the factor at the center of these changes is hormones, especially estrogen. When you were younger, estrogen was not only related to the reproductive cycle, it functioned as a kind of priority signal for many tissues in the body, including the skin and the facial support structures. Estrogen helps stimulate collagen production, maintain skin moisture, and support tissue repair fairly effectively, even when life was stressful or sleep wasn't perfect. But after menopause, estrogen levels drop significantly. This doesn't just affect emotions or bones and joints. It also changes how the body allocates its resources. At this stage, the body enters a very different phase. It no longer focuses on maintaining outward appearance the way it once did, but shifts toward prioritizing systems directly related to survival, such as cardiovascular health, metabolism, and internal balance. The skin and the face, although still important, are no longer at the top of the priority list. This explains why so many women say, "I sleep better than before. I eat healthier than before, but my skin and my face don't recover the way they did when I was 50. It's not that those healthy habits have lost their value, it's that the body is now using them in a different way. After 60, the skin's ability to retain moisture declines. Collagen regeneration slows down. Connective tissues no longer respond quickly to repair signals. And when the underlying support weakens, the skin above, even when well cared for, can still appear soft and sagging. What's important to understand is this: these changes are not a disease. They are a natural part of biological aging. The problem is that very few women are ever given a clear explanation of this. Instead, they are often told, "Take better care of your skin. Use stronger anti-aging treatments," without anyone explaining that the body after 60 is operating under a different strategy. And when you don't understand that new strategy, it becomes very easy to blame yourself, to think you haven't tried hard enough, haven't used the right products, or have missed a so-called golden window. The truth is, that's not the case at all. You haven't done anything wrong. You're simply applying old rules to a body that has entered a new stage. When we understand that sagging after 60 is connected to hormones, to how the body prioritizes energy, and to changes in the entire support system, we stop trying to fix the face in a rushed or forceful way. Instead, we begin learning how to support the body in alignment with its current biological rhythm, and that is the essential foundation for the next part, where you'll understand why two factors that are rarely talked about, actually play a key role in making the face appear to sag faster after 60. At this point, you may have realized that sagging after 60 is not just a skin issue, but there are still two key factors that many women have never heard explained, even after reading countless articles about anti-aging. Those two factors are facial fat and the underlying facial bone structure. They change quietly over time, not loudly, not painfully, but their impact on the shape of the face is very real. First, let's talk about facial fat. When we're younger, facial fat is distributed fairly evenly. It creates natural fullness in the cheeks, supports the under-eye area, and helps the face look soft, yet well-defined. But after 60, facial fat no longer stays in the same place. It doesn't simply disappear. In many cases, it shifts downward due to gravity and the weakening of support tissues. What's the result? The upper part of the face looks flatter and less full, while the lower part, especially along the jawline and around the corners of the mouth, appears heavier and pulled downward. This is why many women say, "I haven't gained weight. I've actually lost weight," yet their face still looks like it's sagging. The issue isn't body weight. It's how facial fat is redistributed when the support system weakens. And now we come to the second factor, the one most often overlooked, the facial bone structure. Facial bones are not fixed forever. Over time, bone also changes very slowly, but very real. The cheekbones may subtly recede. The jawbone loses some of its sharp definition. The eye sockets gradually widen. These changes aren't dramatic enough to notice right away, but they alter the hanging frame that supports all the soft tissue above. You can imagine it like this. When the hook holding a curtain is no longer secure, the curtain itself, even if still intact, will sag and lose its shape. When the underlying bone structure changes, the fat and skin above lose their anchor points. And when both facial fat and bone structure shift together, the face doesn't just look older, it looks like it's slowly sinking over time. This is exactly why applying creams alone or focusing only on the skin's surface cannot fully resolve sagging after 60. Not because those products are useless, but because they don't address the root cause. And when women are never given this explanation, they easily fall into a familiar cycle, trying more products, feeling disappointed, and then blaming themselves. What I want you to understand here is this. When facial changes are driven by shifts in fat and bone structure, it is not your fault. It's biology. It's time. It's how the body adapts to a new stage of life. Before we continue, I'd really like to hear one thing from you. If this is the first time you've heard a clear explanation about the role of facial fat and bone structure in sagging after 60, please leave a comment with the number 1. If you've heard or read about this before, please leave a comment with the number 0. Your comments don't just help me understand how much information women over 60 are being exposed to. They also help me continue sharing what truly needs to be said, the things you should have been told much earlier, so you don't have to quietly blame yourself. Every time you look in the mirror, by this point, you may have started to look at your face with a different perspective, not just focusing on wrinkles or skin smoothness, but paying attention to how supported your face feels throughout the day. Sagging caused by a weakening support foundation rarely appears suddenly. It develops very gradually and often shows up through subtle signs that are easy to overlook if you're not paying attention. The first sign is that the face looks soft and tired, even when you've slept well. You may go to bed on time, not stay up late, not feel overly stressed. Yet when you look in the mirror in the morning, your face still lacks that sense of lift it once had. This is a sign that nighttime recovery is no longer strong enough to keep the support structure stable. The second sign is that the jawline becomes less defined, especially when viewed from the side or when you slightly tilt your head downward. This isn't because you've gained weight, but because the soft tissue in that area is no longer being held firmly in its original position. The third sign is that the cheeks appear to slide downward when you smile. When you were younger, smiling lifted the face. But after 60, many women notice that when they smile, the cheeks seem to pull downward, creating a heavy feeling around the corners of the mouth. The fourth sign is that the face changes noticeably between morning and afternoon. In the morning, it may look fairly okay, but as the day goes on, the face begins to feel heavier and more drooped, especially in the lower cheek and jawline areas. This suggests that the support system no longer has enough strength to hold the soft tissue stable throughout the day. The fifth sign is that the corners of the mouth look sad, even when your mood is perfectly fine. Many women share that people ask them, "Is something wrong?" when they themselves feel completely normal. This isn't an emotional issue, but a change in the position of the soft tissue. And finally, there's the feeling that the face has gone downhill more quickly over the past few years, even though aging had previously progressed quite slowly. This is often the stage when hormonal changes, facial fat redistribution, and bone structure changes begin to interact with one another. The most important thing I want you to remember is this. These signs are not warnings meant to make you afraid. They are simply signals that the body is entering a new phase and needs to be supported in a different way. When you understand that facial changes are not happening because you did something wrong, but because the support foundation is naturally weakening with age, you stop trying to fix your face in a rushed or forceful way. And that is exactly the moment when we can begin talking about more appropriate approaches, gentle, realistic ways to help the face maintain harmony, in alignment with the biological rhythm after 60. After understanding why the face sags after 60, the next important step is not to look for a quick fix, but to change the approach. Many women enter this stage, wanting to return to the face they had 10 or 20 years ago. But the truth is, the body after 60 no longer responds well to old strategies. The more you try to force it, the more tired and disappointed you're likely to feel. The right approach is not to fight aging, but to support the body according to its current biological rhythm. The first thing to adjust is expectations around skincare. Creams, serums, and skincare routines still have value. They help the skin feel healthier, softer, and less reactive, but they cannot replace the role of the underlying support system. Once you understand this, you'll no longer feel disappointed when a good product doesn't deliver the face-lifting effect promised in ads. The second and very important factor is sleep and circadian rhythm. After 60, the body doesn't tolerate irregularity well. Going to bed late one night, waking up late the next, may not matter much when you're younger, but at this stage, it clearly disrupts tissue recovery. A stable sleep schedule helps the nervous system relax, helps the body feel safe, and only then is it willing to maintain long-term support structures. Next is nutrition that supports structure, not extreme dieting or aggressive weight loss. Many women over 60 eat very little because they fear gaining weight or worry their face will look bigger. It'd have to do though, but when the body lacks protein and foundational nutrients, it doesn't have enough material to maintain muscle, connective tissue, and firmness. The goal here isn't to eat more, but to eat enough consistently. The fourth element is gentle but consistent movement. No heavy workouts, no overexertion. Light, regular daily movement improves circulation and helps facial and full body muscles maintain the tone they need. When the body feels it's being used appropriately, it's more likely to keep support structures stable. One area many women feel uncertain about is hormones. Here, I want to be very clear and neutral. Hormone therapy is not for everyone. It is a personal medical decision that should be discussed carefully with a doctor based on health history and symptom severity. Most importantly, hormones are not the only path to a more stable face after 60. At the core of every effective approach is helping the body feel safe and stable. When the nervous system isn't constantly overstimulated, when daily rhythms are consistent, when the body isn't stuck in prolonged deficiency, it stops pulling resources away from the skin and face. The goal at this stage is not to create a perfect face. It's to keep the face harmonious, supported, and reflective of the vitality inside. And when you move in that direction, the changes may be subtle, but they are sustainable, not just for a few weeks, but for many years ahead. By the end of this video, the most important thing I hope you take with you is not a tip or a specific product. It's a sense of relief. Relief in knowing that facial changes after 60 are not because you failed to care for yourself, not because you neglected your body, but because your body is operating on a new biological rhythm. When we understand the true cause, we stop blaming ourselves every time we look in the mirror. Instead, we begin listening to the body and supporting it with more kindness. Before we end, I'd really like to know this from you. Right now, Which area of your face concerns you most? Please leave a comment with one of these three words: jawline, cheeks, mouth corners. Your sharing doesn't just help me better understand the real concerns of women over 60, it also helps others realize that they are not alone. If this video brings you a sense of understanding or helps you see your body a little more clearly, please tap like to support the channel. And if you know a friend or sister who feels confused by facial changes with age, please share this video with her. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so we can build a community together. Women over 60 who understand their bodies correctly live more gently and appreciate themselves a little more each day.